From broke and borrowing for water bills to a multimillionaire overnight, David Lee Edwards' story is a whirlwind. He clinched a share of a $280 million lottery jackpot in 2001, pocketing a $27 million lump sum after taxes. But this tale of rags to riches is no ordinary one. It's a roller coaster ride filled with luxury, fast cars, and unexpected turns. In 2001, Edwards, a former robber battling addiction, faced financial hardship, even borrowing for water bills. A spontaneous pizza and Powerball ticket purchase changed his life overnight, shifting him from prison life to luxury with racehorses and fast cars. His story, a rags-to-riches tale, is a dream shared by many who spend over $70 billion on Powerball tickets each year. Sadly, nearly 70% of winners like Edwards end up financially destitute within years. Edwards' journey began from Ashland, Kentucky. His life journey unfolded in a low-income family marked by early tragedies. His sister's demise during open-heart surgery and his brother's accident at Greenbow Lake. These wounds left him to seek solace in marijuana and alcohol. His story underscores life's roller coaster, where a single lottery ticket can dramatically reshape one's destiny. David Lee Edwards' life was a troubled path. At just 16, he found himself entangled in criminal activities, leading to his initial encounter with the justice system. Things took a darker turn when he engaged in a shootout with state police, requiring tear gas to stop the violence and avoid a potential tragedy. By the time he turned 18, Edwards had transitioned from experimenting with marijuana to harder substances, intensifying his struggle with substance abuse and theft. The years passed, and at the age of 26, he found himself at the pinnacle of desperation. In a desperate bid to secure a sum of $360, he attempted an armed robbery at his local gas station, a fateful decision that led to a 10-year prison sentence. David Lee Edwards' life was marked by brief glimpses of freedom during parole, where he formed relationships, married, and became a father to Tiffany. Yet his pattern of violating parole led him back to prison, shattering his marriage and leaving behind a trail of unfulfilled promises and missed chances. After 16 years in prison, David Lee Edwards embraced sobriety and education. In 1997, he entered construction, but faced addiction-related job loss and homelessness. He found love with waitress Shauna Maddox, got engaged, and an inherited $30,000 house provided stability. In 2001, a friend's loan restored their water supply, and a $7 Powerball ticket purchase changed their lives. Edward himself remembers this life-altering incident as he quotes, "I went up there and played that lottery. I was sincere when I asked God to help me because I was desperate. I felt just desperate in my soul, just desperate." It had been 18 weeks without a winner, and the jackpot had ballooned to $280 million, the third highest on record at the time. One fateful evening, Edwards and Shauna watched in utter shock as every single one of their Powerball numbers was called, making them multimillionaires. Edwards' share amounted to a remarkable $41 million, which after taxes left him with a substantial $27 million, guaranteeing financial security for life. Lottery winners often face a critical decision: a lump sum or annual payments. Considering his history, David Lee Edwards leaned toward yearly payouts. But financial wisdom prevailed when he consulted advisor James Gibbs, who devised a plan promising $80,000 in monthly interest by investing $16 million in secure bonds and annuities. Edwards seemed ready to accept his huge ceremonial check in spite of his past. He seemed grounded and sensible, saying, "I didn't want to accept this money by saying I'm going to get mansions and I'm going to get cars. I'm going to get this and that. I would like to accept it with humility. I want this money to last for me, for my future wife, for my daughter, and for my future generations." Despite initially making wise financial moves, Edwards' opulent lifestyle spun out of control. He impulsively took a $200,000 bank loan for a Las Vegas trip with friends, spending it all in 5 days. Swapping his $30,000 Kentucky home for a $1.6 million mansion in Palm Beach Gardens marked the start of extravagance. Edwards' newfound wealth set off a spending spree, including a $1 million car collection with a $200,000 Lamborghini Diablo and a $90,000 Dodge Viper. He expanded his lavish lifestyle with a $600,000 Palm Springs property, an $80,000 gold watch, a $160,000 ring, and an assortment of 200 medieval swords and armor. To top it off, he splurged on a $1.9 million private Learjet, bypassing commercial travel, and explored businesses like racehorses, a limo company, all without his trusted advisor, James Gibbs. Edwards raced through $3 million in 3 months and saw $12 million vanish within a year, almost half his wealth, thanks to his extravagant spending. Yet his devotion to family, especially his 11-year-old daughter Tiffany, remained unwavering. She was his first call after winning the lottery. As Tiffany remembers that day, as the day her dad called her and asked, "Are you sitting down? Daddy's won the lottery, baby. I'm sending some people to come get you." Tiffany, the young girl, was ecstatic, running through the house in delight when she heard the news. Upon reuniting with her father at the hotel, the room overflowed with gifts, including a teardrop diamond ring. However, there was a darker side to Edwards' rapid reunion, as Tiffany would later disclose. "The reason my dad sent people to get me was because of the security risk. He was known around here by people who knew I was his only daughter. He was worried they would kidnap me for money." Edwards quickly settled his $8,300 delinquent child support and gained full custody of Tiffany by sending his ex-wife $500,000. Her room in his lavish mansion became a haven filled with angelic decor, a pink princess canopy bed, a computer, and a flat-screen TV. Nannies, maids, and a butler tended to her needs. Special occasions like Tiffany's 13th birthday prompted Shauna, Tiffany's mother, to return on their private jet. Extravagance knew no bounds, from a grand slumber party in the Ashland Plaza Hotel's presidential suite to opulent trips, including yachts and Disneyland. Despite his lavish spending, Edwards made some regrettable choices, like a $35,000 Hummer golf cart he couldn't drive and an unpopular $16,000 a year private school for Tiffany. Substance abuse remained a shadow, straining his marriage with Shauna. They spent $200,000 monthly on substances, leading to Shauna's costly rehab stint. Tragically, many friends lost their lives to overdose, and Edwards footed the bill for their funerals. But Shauna's rehab didn't stick, and their relationship became more volatile. Tiffany later accused her of stealing Rolexes and cars from Edwards, saying Shauna just started acting crazy. Later, Tiffany remembers the time as, "It was substances. That's all. People keep telling my dad he should get rid of her, but he never could. He told me near the end that his one regret was not getting rid of Shauna and looking after himself. But they were hooked on each other. And then, they were just hooked on substances." By 2004, violence erupted when Shauna stabbed Edwards during a substance-fueled rage, leading to a police visit at their Palm Beach estate. A year later, another call revealed their substance stash. By 2006, their fortune vanished due to debt, failed racehorses, and lost investments. Legal battles with creditors and former partners ensued. Despite Gibbs' advice, Edwards lost everything, including his Florida home. They lived in a rented warehouse, and Tiffany and her stepbrother entered foster care, marking their fall from riches to destitution. Tiffany yet again relives the moment. "In the beginning, it was good. I had a dad. That's all I'd wanted. In the end, I was devastated because I'd lost my dad, and I knew it." Amid allegations, Edwards and Shauna's relationship fell apart, leading him into a life of substance addiction. Living conditions worsened in his storage unit until he was found in squalor. After rehab, his ex-wife and her husband brought him back to Kentucky, where he relied on disability payments and food stamps in a trailer park. It wasn't the lost wealth, but the absence of friends and family, especially as Shauna had moved on, leaving her substance habit behind, that weighed heaviest on his heart. Edwards' health deteriorated, and he was diagnosed with liver disease in 2012. By 2013, he passed away, where he was later cremated because there was no money left to bury him even, leaving Tiffany with nothing. So, we've reached the end of the tragic tale of a man named David Lee Edwards, who went from nothing to being a millionaire to finally reaching back to where it all began initially. So, hoping y'all liked today's video. Let us know whether Edwards was better being a brokey in the first place, or when he could buy anything under the sky. What really went wrong with him being a millionaire? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your fellow peers. And if you haven't yet subscribed till now, do it now, so that you won't miss the upcoming videos.